Imagine a world where suddenly the sun disappears. As surreal as it may seem, this hypothetical scenario invites us to reflect on the intricate web that connects sunlight to the maintenance of life on our planet. Over the next few minutes, we will embark together on a scientific and dramatic journey, exploring the possible consequences of this catastrophic event and highlighting the delicate balance among Earth's natural elements. At the very instant the sun vanishes, Earth still receives its last remnants of light and heat. For approximately 8 minutes and 20 seconds, the planet continues its routine, unaware that its primary energy source has just ceased to exist. This brief interval, seemingly insignificant, marks the beginning of a radical transformation that will affect every aspect of existence. This abrupt decline triggers a chain reaction. The ozone layer, climate cycles, and winds that have swept across Earth for eons begin to shift in unpredictable ways. With the sun's disappearance, it's not just cold that settles in, but also total darkness. The thick, impenetrable darkness inhibits photosynthesis, halting the vital cycle of plants. Without light, plants die within weeks, precipitating the collapse of entire food chains. Imagine the disbelief of every living being, every natural system, when faced with the absence of a star that, for billions of years, sustained the balance of life. As the light fades, the immediate impact is felt in the atmosphere. Without the constant influx of energy, global temperatures begin to plummet drastically. Within just 1 week, the world would already reach temperatures around 4 degrees, 20 degrees, a scenario that challenges our very ability to adapt. This phenomenon underscores the extreme dependency that life on Earth has on our hidden star. In a world plunged into absence, what might seem like the onset of an eternal winter turns into an abyss of energy and nutrient deprivation. As the surface becomes a scene of desolation and extreme cold, the oceans, majestic keepers of ancient secrets, begin to react just as dramatically. The upper layer of the oceans, exposed to the sudden cold, forms a solid sheet of ice. Yet the ocean depths retain some of their remaining heat, thanks to geothermal energy released from within the Earth. This contrast creates a paradoxical scene. While the surface trembles in the cold, the deep sea offers a brief haven of survival for life forms adapted to extreme conditions. The absence of the sun also alters the celestial choreography of the solar system. Without the immense gravitational pull that keeps the planets in orbit, Earth and its neighbors begin a wandering trajectory through space. This sudden shift creates a disorder that challenges the very concept of cosmic stability. Imagine the vastness of the universe, where each planet becomes a lonely traveler, no longer able to rely on the security of a stable orbit. This vision reinforces our understanding of the sun's importance, not only for life on Earth, but for the balance of our entire planetary system. As time goes on, Earth transforms into a landscape of painful contrasts. The intense cold and absolute darkness impose a new reality, where every minute becomes a struggle for survival. Cities, once vibrant and full of life, turn into silent monuments of an age when light guided our days. Human infrastructure, unable to withstand such cold, begins to collapse. What was once a complex civilization becomes vulnerable to the harshness of an environment that overnight has turned hostile. In this apocalyptic scenario, human adaptation emerges as the central theme. The need to survive forces humanity to seek energetic and technological alternatives to sustain life. Sealed and artificially heated environments become essential refuges. Nuclear, geothermal, and other alternative energy sources are rapidly explored, although such efforts are unable to prevent the collapse of natural ecosystems. In the midst of this struggle, the inevitable question arises: how could we reinvent a civilization that has always depended on the sun? The deep environmental crisis that unfolds reveals, brutally, our vulnerability. Every system, every natural element connects within a complex web where the absence of a single component, the sun, leads to the collapse of the entire network. The drama of this event reminds us of the urgent need to care for and preserve the natural balance. Earth's history is filled with delicate interrelationships, and the hypothetical extinction of the sun demonstrates the scale of consequences when a vital link is broken. As we navigate this narrative of catastrophe and resilience, we are continually reminded of crucial moments. The transition from the relative safety of those final minutes of light to the plunge into total darkness symbolizes not only a physical change, but also a profound emotional challenge for every living being on this planet. This dichotomy between hope and despair deeply marks the imagination of a humanity forced to reinvent its existential foundations. Minutes turn into hours, and hours into days, where each second pulses with the imminent risk of extinction. The few life forms that manage to survive without direct sunlight, such as extremophiles dwelling in ocean depths, symbolize both the resilience and the biological limits of adaptation to a hostile environment. This partial survival reminds us that even under the harshest conditions, life strives to persist, showcasing nature's remarkable adaptability. The narrative of this hypothetical event thus presents a series of lessons and reflections. The disappearance of the sun, however unlikely, underscores the interdependence between natural forces and human existence. Every phenomenon, every change in temperature or planetary orbit contributes to a cascade of inevitable consequences. In this sense, our scientific understanding becomes a vital foundation for projecting preventive measures and adaptation strategies in the face of any threat, real or imagined. As darkness continues, the challenges to human survival multiply across multiple fronts. The shortage of food, the collapse of production chains, and the deterioration of environments once stitched together by vital energy open the door to uncertainty and collective fear. What would remain of social organization in a frozen, sunless world? Stories of abandonment, desperate struggle, and at the same time moments of solidarity would emerge among the survivors. In this context, science becomes an essential tool for rebuilding and adapting practices that enable life to continue. The crisis, however, does not only bring the loss of essential elements, but also revolutionizes the way we perceive our relationship with the cosmos. The sun's disappearance reveals the fragility of systems we once believed to be permanent and unchangeable. This new perspective forces us to rethink priorities and value each component of the mechanism that sustains our planet. Science, with its capacity to offer answers and alternatives, takes center stage as the guide that can lead humanity down paths of resilience and sustainability. Contemplating this extraordinary hypothesis also serves as a warning: the need to renew our commitment to the environment and to scientific research. Every piece of data, every discovery about the mechanisms that govern the universe, is a reminder that Earth is not a supporting actor in the vastness of the cosmos, but a delicate balance of interconnected forces. This understanding is essential for us to consciously protect the future that awaits us. The drama of the sun disappearing brings us to a crossroads of consequences and challenges that touch both scientific and emotional realms. Amid the technical details and terrifying projections, a narrative of hope and resilience emerges. The human capacity to adapt and seek innovative solutions, even in the face of the impossible, is a trait that endures at our core. The journey for survival in this hypothetical scenario is not just a battle against cold and darkness, but a reaffirmation of our determination to preserve life in all its forms. This story, built on extreme scenarios and scientific data, conveys a fundamental message: the interdependence between the sun and life on Earth is irreplaceable, Every ray of light, every wave of heat, and every planetary motion composes the delicate symphony that makes existence possible. Therefore, even when confronted with nature's most challenging aspects, we are reminded of the urgent need to understand and protect this vital balance. As we conclude this narrative, we are invited to reflect on our role as stewards of this planet. If the sun were to suddenly disappear, not only would the physical aspects of our existence be affected, but our very conception of future and continuity would collapse. Science teaches us that even in the most extreme events, there is always a spark of possibility for renewal and reconstruction. This hope translates into the relentless pursuit of new energy sources, the adaptation of our ways of life, and above all, the understanding that we depend on each other to face monumental challenges. In this hypothetical and frightening scenario, the legacy left by the sun is the same one that inspires our journey, the pursuit of truth and survival. May we, in revisiting this vision, find the motivation to value every aspect of our existence and act responsibly toward the environment. By rebuilding our understanding of the delicate dynamic between life and the cosmos, we open the way to a future where knowledge becomes the primary tool for transformation. This hypothetical scenario reminds us of the delicate interdependence between the sun and life on Earth, highlighting the importance of understanding and protecting our planetary environment. Science is our ally in this eternal quest for balance and sustainability. Embrace this reflection and share the message. Together, we can protect what sustains us.